Alright, so guys, welcome back to this channel. We're actually going to be doing quite a number of things here on this particular video. We're going to be looking at, first of all, the directional bias. We are still going to be looking at, SNC analysis, and then, entry position. So these are a couple of things we're going to be covering right in this video. So please stay tuned as we delve into it. Now, when we talk about directional bias as a trader, the first thing that comes to your mind is you need to understand where the market is facing. You need to understand the direction of the market for that particular day. Most of the case, it might be a week. For that particular week, most of the case, it might also be for that month. So it is very good to understand the directional bias because that is going to be able to help you to position yourself for your best um, entry position and opportunity, and of course using the smart money concept. Now this is very important because, like I always said in my previous videos, when you are entering a trade, when you're taking your buy or your sell position, you have to be in alignment with the directional bias of that particular day or that season. If you're a swing trader, that is also up to you. If you're a day trader, that's also up to you. If you're a scalper, that is also up to you. Now, when we talk about directional bias, take for example, we are having a day. Let's assume today is let's assume today is the okay. Let me just get to the chart so you see it right for yourself. Now, this is our daily chart, as you can see right here. Part of the way in which you tend to know the directional bias for the day, because often than not, the daily candle is still being formed, so you don't really know what it's going to look like. For you to be able to identify the directional bias, it means you have to look at the previous three, days before that particular day in which you're analyzing your market or you're performing your analysis. So for this now, if you watch on daily time frame, pretty much this we're having pretty much um this kind of candlestick, as you can see right here. And you all from this, it is a clear indication that the market is actually consolidating. Are we together now? Because you've seen that there was a big downward pull. Let me just do this real quick for you so you understand what I'm talking about here. All right. So when we talk about directional buying, you could see real quick that this is actually what happened here. The market, there was a pull down, there was a pull up, and after which the market is consolidating. So this is actually what is happening right here. Pretty much simple, as you can see. We all know that when a market is actually consolidating, you look at I don't want to introduce some other concept like the CRT concept and all of that. But let's not even talk about PDRAs and the rest of that. Let's just focus on understanding the directional bias of this market. So in this case, now we've been able to see that there was a pull down, and afterwards the market became bullish. After a strong bearish pull, it became bullish. And in this bullish whatsoever it is you're having here, it has to consolidate to be able to continue to be able to keep on, this particular movement. Now, there are some key factors we need to look at when trying to understand the directional bias of the market. One of it is your, smart money SMC analysis. Because if you look at this, we're talking about okay, maybe some couple of PDRAs where you have your other blocks and breakout blocks and the rest of that. It's actually a beautiful one you could use to you know go ahead on that account. So often than not, it is much more important that we always pay attention to the left hand side of the chart. The right hand side is actually our anticipation. while the left hand side becomes, what would bring about, what sponsors our conviction as to also reacting to whatsoever the market action is. So this is pretty much it. If we look at what's going on here, you can see that from, let me make this quite easier. You can see that this is where the takeoff began. So if we, to make it a little bit much easier, we have to, compress this market to be able to check for the other block that sponsored this takeoff from here, or the fair value gap that sponsored this takeoff from here. And when we do that here, you can see that there was a pile up here. So in this case now, from the left hand part of the screen, you are now able to see that, okay, on the daily, this is on the daily time frame. So you are being able to see that there was a spike here. If you watch very well, there's an order block here. Now, what we'll do is to just take cognizance of this other block, as you can see right here, which is what we're doing. So if I should take cognizance, because this other block led to, the break of structure right here, and it also, giving us some that fair value gap we're seeing right there. So if we do this now on this case, and this is it, so we have to take it down to that takeoff moment where in which we had from here. Now if we do this, you could see that, you can see what happened here. This is pretty much, so from the left hand side you could see that this actually reacted to, an order block that is already at, at the left hand part. So with this, we've been able to see that in this case, the directional bias for this particular, currency pair is actually bullish. Why is it bullish? It is because price action has already tapped into that particular this quarter block here, and it is actually, doing that reversal and change of character. But you don't just conclude by that, because what we are saying is we're looking at price action for the directional bias with regard to price action for the next 1 week. So, or for the next 5 days, so to say, that's we're talking about trading days. Now, you've been able to see that the market is bullish because of this single act here on the daily time frame. Now, if you watch closely, since it is bullish, you could see what happened here a day before, previous days, and so on. And now you're having consolidation here. Now, what happens here is that you remember we are on a daily time frame. So if we're having this consolidation right here, you have this pull which is bullish, and you have this bearish. Now when you see this, when you spot a consolidation, the next thing that comes to your head is that there is going to be a bearish candle, and this particular bearish price action is going to make the entire day, the whole of that day's trading bearish. So you are going to be having a strong pull of the market, you know, um, moving downwards. But that doesn't still mean that the directional bias for the entire week is not bullish. Are you getting, am I making sense here? So this is going to help us to be able to know that, okay, so this is what we are looking at with regards to directional bias. So since we've been able to get this particular candle here, as you can see right here, we now know that to on this day that as at when this video is being made, you could see that the directional bias of the entire directional bias of this particular currency pair is bullish. But you can see for today, after a bearish, consolidation and candle, we are now seeing that on this part there is also a pull. So this is not telling you that for today, today's date is Wednesday, 4th February 2026. It's telling you that we should aim for much of selling on this currency pair. So with this on today's trade, for as many that are going to be trading today, or for me in particular, I already know that yes, today is bullish, so I should look for more and much of buy. Are we together now? Based on our daily time frame. Remember, we have treated directional buy, so we now understand vividly. We now understand vividly where the market is being headed, and what we should be looking at for. Since it is bullish, we should focus on buying much in the market. Are we together now? So the next thing we now look at is to scale down to lower time frames. So when we scale down to lower time frames like this, what we are going to be coming across to is, for example, we scale or through this is a daily bar. Let's just work. Let's see what 1 hour is going to look like here. All right, so this is 1 hour time frame as well, as you can see. Yes, so you can see very well that the consolidation is still on. So what we are doing here, take for example, telling yourself that telling yourself for the next, remember from what we just analyzed from our daily time frame, telling us that we are fully, bullish. You can see what's happening here. All of this consolidation you see, this is what is happening here. Are you seeing this on a 1 hour time frame? So it's telling us all those hours that are shrouded in that consolidation. This is what it looks like. It is still not disputing the fact that the market is bullish. All you just need to do is to be patient, especially if you beat, you've crossed through that part where you were supposed to, your entry position and all of that. So now let's scale down to also a lower time frame. Let's say, for example, scaling to 15 minutes. Now, this is what the market looks like in 15 minutes. Are you see what it is playing around with? So we have to make this a little bit much, broader and bigger. And as you can see right here, this was a very sharp entry position. This is a very sharp entry position. Now, forget the fact that the market is actually doing this, is actually, it has to correct all of these lapses in terms of inefficiencies, fair value gaps, and all of that. Whatsoever, it still don't dispute the fact that the market is bullish. So all you need to do is to come to this point and also wait for it. The same thing we did in our daily time frame. We come to this point, locate, that other block that sponsored this particular uh, breakout structure, and I liked that particular other block. Then you wait for price to get to this particular, because what this concept we're doing is that we're strictly working with, other blocks all together. Now the smart money concept on that will now start, that we'll be dealing with ranges, we'll be dealing with, demand zone and all of that, all of these zones and supply resistance and support and the rest of that. But you need to understand this real quick so that it will help you, understand what you're waiting for in the course of your trading. So once you do this, all we need to do is to wait for price to hit, tap into this particular order block, and then once price taps into this particular order block, the next thing we do is to look out for, a long position, and we come to our long position, ensure our stop loss is, a little bit below that zone, and then push our take profit to wherever, the initial, key zone, liquidity level, in terms of, buy liquidity levels and the rest of that is, and that will be able to give us whatever a perfect, 1:3 reward ratio or 1:2 reward ratio. So I believe this has actually been helpful. Remember, this is, the entry position that you're going to be taking in the course of this trade whilst you wait for price to get through to this section. Now remember, price could be very funny. Price actions could be very, funny. Most of the times it does things like this. You might do something like this, get to this place, deal with this fair value gap, go up. If there's another fair value gap, now correct it, push down, and go up again. Then keep, this is how it should just be doing, correcting inefficiencies. You see things like this, it will break that structure, come back again, we test that particular order block, then tap into this guy. After tapping into it, you see it moving up, coming down again. So correct that inefficiency. You see price most of the time shoots this way, come this way and shoot up. So this becomes your take profit. So most of the time, this is what would be expected in the course, of the trade. So I believe this video has actually been helpful to you. If you are new to this channel, do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever it is we drop a new video like this to be able to help your entire trading experience. I'm going to be seeing you in the next one. You could also watch this particular video, it's going to help you. Peace out.